June 30th. Guys, we're on the final day of the month. You know what that means? Victory is upon us. Alright? No, that means my birthday's coming up and I'm getting old. We're getting pretty old, man. We're getting pretty old. What's going on, dude? How you doing? You doing good? Okay. Okay. We can work with that. So I'm thinking, what should I do this video about? Into the darkness. No, man, I don't know, dude. I figured I'd show you guys the games that I've bought in the past week or two, and because I don't have any footage, there's no way I can show footage of them, and I honestly haven't played 2 of the games, so I can't really talk about them in depth or anything. But I can say I know a little bit about them. Right. So I already showed you guys Defiance yesterday. That was $41, I think, used. The website said 45, but when I went down to the store, it was actually 40. But with tax and all that booty bop, probably like $42, $43 or something. But I did buy 3 other games, and yeah. Well, I did technically buy another game since my last "What Did I Buy" video. I've bought Defiance, State of Decay, and then these 3 games right here. So I'll talk about them now. I'll talk about the game that I do know, and I have B and A for. I've rented it. I've got all the achievements in it. Fantastic game. Probably one of the most widely known RPGs on the 360, too. It's Eternal Sonata. Oh my god, this box art, yo. I've got a story to tell you guys. I'll get to it in a minute, but I love this box art, dude. Like, that's the way a back should be. 6 images of gameplay. Fantastic. You know, they've got like this little description, like always, but they keep it to a minimal. The bullshit part, bing, 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 right down there. That's all you need to know. Bing, bing, bing. Everything else is fucking information. That's good stuff. You know, compare that to the whole game that I showed a while ago, where it was just like, literally, like, the entire back of it was just warning messages in Spanish translation and Italian translation. I can't remember, but Eternal Sonata, I guess you could say it's a turn-based RPG, sort of. Like, you know, it's typical JRPG. You run around the world and stuff, and it's pretty linear for the most part. But when you get into a combat, which you attack enemies on the battlefield, and then it takes you to the battle screen, it's sort of like Tales of. It's like a side perspective, you know, and you can run around the field in like a 3D plane, but every second that you walk around drains your action meter, and then everything you do with that takes your action meter. So, or was it? I think it's from the second you start moving is when it starts draining it. So you gotta like run up to the enemy and then initiate your attack button and just mash your attack button usually. Now, if I remember correctly, there was like 3 attacks per character. So you'd have like your basic standard like swing sword attack or shoot a gun attack, and then you would have like a heavy attack, and then you'd have like a skill attack, or was it 2 skill attacks maybe, something like that. So you'd want to like utilize, alright, do I want to do 2 simple attacks and do like a skill attack? That'll drain my SP, but it might be worth the damage output. But then they add in this other element, which is there's dark areas on the battlefield. They're supposed to be shadows, and when you're in the shadows, you actually have different moves. Like your face button skill set changes. So it'll say like B button now will be Twilight Dance instead of, you know, Sunlight Fury or something. So you have this completely different move that could do something way different. The main character that does, not the main character, but like the most noticeable character is this character named Beat. It's like this little kid with a camera, and I think everybody at this moment when they played the game, you see this movie. He has like, hey, what the hell is it called? It's like Phantom Shoot or something. So you're like, yeah, that sounds badass. You get it ready to like activate Phantom Shot or whatever, and then he pulls up his camera and he starts taking pictures, and you're like, the fuck? And it was just like there was like an archival tool in the game where you could, if you took pictures of monsters, you would know their weakness, like add them to the bestiary or whatever. But then you put him in the darkness, and when he's in the darkness, he actually whips out like a big gun and he starts shooting, and it's cool. But it was a pretty fun game for the most part. I mean, it didn't hold up very well in the end. You know, there was still a lot of weird story things that they could have done differently. They try to add too much, you know. There's a war storyline going on. You know, there's orphans being involved. There's a kingdom being ruled by, like, a dictator or whatever. And, you know, it's pretty, I don't know, I guess average story. But then what they do is they try to add in the real world. This whole game takes place inside of, what's his name, Frederick Chopin? The the famous pianist or whatever. He's in the real world, because this takes place technically in the real world, but you're in a dream. He's basically on his deathbed. He's dying off, and we play as the characters in his imagination. So, I don't know. They don't really do as much as they could have, but it was still a cool concept, you know. And I don't know. It was a fun game. I wouldn't say it's anything amazing, but it's definitely a strong game. It's on PS3 also. So we got that. This game, I played the demo a long time ago, but I don't even remember much about it. Sep Saga. Sep Saga. I don't know how everyone knows it. Sep Saga. It's a strategy RPG, I believe. And it has something to do with cards or some shit, and I don't know. I remember playing the demo, like, God, when did this game come out? It came out like 08 or something. 08 or 09 maybe? It was probably, no, it was like 06 or 07. Yeah, 2006 to 2008. I can't comment on this game, you know. I just saw that it's anime styled, it's an RPG, it needs to be in the collection. It came with the book, and it came with a really nice condition disc. This and Eternal Sonata were both about $20, so good prices for the original boxes and manuals. I like it. And then we've got Kingdom Under Fire, Circle of Doom, I believe is the subtitle. It's in the douchey GameStop case. It was only $7, and I knew I had to get this eventually, so I did. And from what I understand, it's sort of like 99 Nights or Dynasty Warriors, but more RPG-y, so I had to get that. I don't know anything about that one actually at all. I've never played the demo, I've never really looked into it. All I know is there's like an elf girl on the cover or something, and you can level up to level 99, but it takes a long time, and it pissed off all my friends. And you also have to do all the side quests to get all the achievements or something. So there's that. Alright. What else is going on? I'm actually going to go try this shit out. Have you guys ever used an ear cleaner on your ear? I don't know, I guess it gets the job really done well. Every time I go to the doctors, they're like, you might have to clean your ears out a little more. And I'm thinking, okay, I Q-tip them, and I also wash them in the shower, you know, fill my ears up with water. And they're like, yeah, you need to just try to get an ear cleaner, because there's, no matter what, there's always going to be wax in the back of your ear that you cannot reach physically. So when that happens, you get one of these things. And from what I understand, you drip these little drip drops into your ear. And then you take this guy right here. Well, first you have to hold the drips in your ear for several minutes. And then you take this guy with warm water and squirt him up in there. I'm reading all these reviews, though, because the box honestly doesn't give you enough information. So, you go to Amazon reviews, and you look at the comments on there, and they're all like, you know, there's like 5-paragraph long comments saying, like, this is how I got it to work, here's my story about how my ears were clogged, and I was dying because it hurt so badly, and I don't want my ears to get that bad. One time, I think I lodged a piece of wax in front of my ear or something. I just woke up one morning, and I couldn't hear out of my ear. It was painful. It sucked. Worst day ever. So, I'm going to go do this, and I got to go to work in a little bit, so I'm going to end it here. Upload this before I go in, alright? And I'm going to end it here. Alright, bye.